1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Aisha Nayab. Federal Cabinet, which met in Islamabad today with Prime Minister in the chair, approved gas load management plan for winter season in order to better deal with gas shortage. President, while stressing to create awareness about cybersecurity in the country, says protection of data has now become a global challenge. Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting has said government is committed to remove encroachments on state-owned land across the country. China has expressed readiness to work with Pakistan to advance the high-quality development of CPEC to deliver more benefits to local people. Lebanese president says his country wants best relations with Saudi Arabia and other Gulf countries. The World Health Organization has warned that Omicron coronavirus variant possesses a high risk of infection around the globe. And now the news in detail. Federal Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister in Islamabad today, approved a gas load management plan for the winter season in order to better deal with the gas shortage. Briefing media persons about the Cabinet decisions, Minister for Information and Broadcasting Chaudhry Fawad Hussain said, under the gas load management plan, gas supply to the CNG sector will remain suspended from tomorrow till 15th February next year. He, however, said gas supply will be fully provided to the independent power producers, fertilizer companies and export-oriented industries. He said 5% additional gas will be provided to the power plants being operated on the LNG. The minister said the gas saved from the CNG, cement and captive power plants will be provided to the domestic consumers. Fawad Chaudhry said that the use of electricity is also being encouraged in the winter season and its tariffs has been reduced for domestic consumers in order to entice them to shift their appliances such as geysers and heaters to electricity. The Information Minister warned that our gas reserves are fast depleting and we have to evolve an alternative strategy to deal with the situation. President Dr. Arif Alvi has stressed to create awareness about cybersecurity in the country as the digital data is very important in modern era. He was addressing the grand finale awards ceremony of a Digital Pakistan cybersecurity competition in Islamabad today. The president said trillions of digital transactions are being made daily in the world and protection of this data has now become a global challenge. He emphasized that the universities should produce IT experts to meet this modern challenge. Dr. Arif Alvi said despite increasing cybersecurity issues, the world has no option rather than digitalization. He said Pakistan is also facing fake news on social media platforms and the youth should be well aware of the baseless propaganda against the country. The president also distributed awards among winners of the competition. Minister for Information and Broadcasting Chaudhry Fawad Hussain says textile exports are nearing the target of $20 billion. In a tweet today, he said the country witnessed a record rice crop of 9 million tons and its exports will be around $4.75 billion. The minister said prices of sugar, tomatoes and onions are constantly declining. The monthly economic update and outlook released by Ministry of Finance indicates that the country's economy is on track to achieve the growth target set by the government for current fiscal year. According to the economic update, the country's fiscal deficit narrowed to 0.8% of gross domestic product during the first quarter of the current fiscal year. Last year, the deficit during the period was recorded at 1.1% of GDP, which shows that the revenue growth outpaced the growth in expenditures. In absolute terms, the fiscal deficit has been reduced to 438.5 billion rupees in the first quarter of the current fiscal year against 484.3 billion rupees in the comparable period of last year. Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting Farooq Habib says government is committed to remove encroachments on state-owned land across the country. He was addressing a news conference along with Special Assistant on Capital Development Authority Affairs Ali Nawaz Awan in Islamabad today. The State Minister said for the first time digitalized cadastral mapping is being prepared, and under this initiative 81,000 square kilometers state-owned land in Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan has been digitized. This is Radio Pakistan. China has expressed a readiness to work with Pakistan to advance the high-quality development of CPEC so as to deliver more benefits to the local people. During the regular briefing in Beijing today, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin said Gawada Port is a leading project of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which focuses on development and people's livelihood. He said China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is a landmark and pilot program under the Belt and Road Initiative. Since its inception in 2013, CPEC has achieved fruitful and remarkable results. Japan has reiterated its commitment for providing support to Pakistan in its socio-economic development. The newly appointed ambassador of Japan to Pakistan, Vara Mitsuhori, in a statement in Islamabad today said his country is committed to utilize its strength towards development of Pakistan and the region. The ambassador said Japanese companies have established long-standing business relations with Pakistan and contributed to its economic development through large amounts of investment and giving employment opportunities to the people. At the United Nations, Pakistan has lauded the UN Peacebuilding Commission's role for supporting peace efforts in conflict-affected countries. Speaking at the Commission's annual session on financing for peace building, Pakistan Permanent Representative to United Nations Munir Akram called for enlarging funding for the 31 member bodies' peace building activities aimed at economic and financial stabilization of those nations. He said Pakistani troops have often mobilized their own resources to complement peacekeeping efforts. The Pakistan envoy stressed the need for sustaining the existing funding streams to the Commission. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian troops in their continued acts of state terrorism have martyred 651 Kashmiris, including 13 women, since 2019 in the territory. According to a report compiled by the research section of Kashmir Media, 99 Kashmiris were killed by Indian troops in fake encounters and custody in the past 3 years. Over 18,000 Hurriyat leaders, activists, youth, students, journalists and civil society members were arrested by the troops and India's notorious National Investigation Agency in at least 12,694 cordon and search operations and house raids in the territory. Lebanese President Michel Aoun says his country wants the best relations with Saudi Arabia and other Gulf countries amid an ongoing diplomatic rift between Gulf Cooperation Council. In an exclusive interview with Al Jazeera, Lebanese President said his country is seeking to reconcile with Saudi Arabia, which severed diplomatic ties with Beirut last month. President Aoun also urged Qatar to invest in Lebanon amid ongoing civil unrest over the economic situations at home, saying his country desperately needed multiple investments in various fields. The United Nations has warned that constant violations of the right of Palestinians threaten the two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. In a statement, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that the situation in the occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem, continues to pose a significant challenge to international peace and security. The World Health Organization has warned that the Omicron coronavirus variant possesses a high risk of infection surges around the globe. The head of the organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, in a statement renewed a call for a global push to get vaccines to the poorer nations. He said variant could lead to severe consequences in some regions. Pakistan beat Bangladesh by 8 wickets in the first cricket test at Chittagong today. The final scores: Bangladesh 330 and 157, Pakistan 286 and 203 per 2. Abid Ali of Pakistan, who scored 133 runs in the first and 91 runs in the second innings, was declared man of the match. Pakistan lead the two-match series 1-0, while second and last match will be played at Dhaka on Saturday. And now the weather report. Mainly cool and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, smog and fog is likely to intensify in plain areas of Punjab during night and morning hours, while light rain may occur in Gilgit-Baltistan. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gop.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletin on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News.